I'll tell you my mistakes as well in the lane. I actually played the lane really badly. I'll explain why, and then I'll explain why you're playing the lane even worse than me. So you essentially just let a bad player outduel you, right? That's a mistake.
Okay.
So now here,
it seems like that's what happens a lot.
yeah, so it happens a lot. All right, can you see my screen?
On
Discord,
yes,
Discord.
I can see.
Yeah,
it.
okay, good.
There we go.
So now here, okay, so here, what are we doing? Why do you click back? Why are we not on the bottom lane? Why are we not in the bottom pocket here and autoing these minions already?
Should I be okay? I actually had a question about, like, I've been told, like, in some circumstances to, like, not auto those first three, and in some to do so. I guess I don't know when to. Like okay, when, and like what in this case, why should I auto?
Well,
those first three?
so okay, let's do some reverse. Let's reverse engineer this.
Okay.
What do you have to do to win this lane?
Get more CS, get XP advantage, get gold advantage.
Okay. Do you think that we want to get level 2 in this lane?
Yes.
Okay, should we auto the minions to get level 2 in this lane?
Yeah, because faster XP accumulation.
Yes, exactly. We get faster XP. So here we should just auto. Auto hardship. Look at what I'm doing to you. I am not pacing back and forth. My idea is I'm just gonna constantly shove in. And when I hit you with a Q. Now here, this is like a little awkward. Now if this was high elo, I wouldn't hit you here. I would just hit the entire wave. Now why would I do that? I would do this because I want to beat you on the push. But the reason I hit you instead of the wave, because I already have the push advantage. Because you didn't opt to go into the bottom pocket, to the south pocket, and start autoing the minions initially. So I know that I have a push advantage, and this is all relevant because of the HP of this current minion. Therefore, I end up hitting you instead of the wave.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I see. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because,
so
okay.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to go down to the south pocket, and you want to auto. What you're doing is you're like afraid of the minions or something. Like you're hitting them, and then you okay. Like not even now. Like let's go back here. When the minions spawn, see how you're clicking back? You click back for a second there for no reason. You should already be here. And then look what you're doing. You auto, you move back, and then you're not autoing. Your auto's off of cooldown, and you're not autoing. You're not auto. See, now you auto, and then again, you move too close to me. You get hit by the Q. Again, you're not autoing. You're not queuing the wave. And now I used a Q, and you didn't go in on me.
Okay.
I just used my Q. My Q's on cooldown. And because you know that you're not going to beat me in the push, you might as well just move up to me and hit me with a Q. And you didn't do that. You let me hit you for a free spell for absolutely no reason. Right?
Yeah.
And now, again, you auto me, which is fine, but you look what you're doing. You hit me, and then now you're taking minion aggro. Because you basically attracted aggro from this minion, this melee as well. However, this melee ended up locking back onto the casters, and then these two casters jump on you.
Okay.
And now you're being hit for free by minion damage. Now, if I was a good player, I would have just backed off. Look what I did. So I hit you. My Q, first of all, I missed. Then you move into me, taking free aggression, free damage, and then I move back in for some reason, even though I know that your Q is off of cooldown.
Right.
And then I get hit by your Q. And then I reciprocate with an auto, but I had no reason to do that. And then I move into you, because I know your Q is on cooldown, so my next movement is inward. Oh, sorry about that. My next Q is inward. My next movement is inwards. Okay? I auto. I'm missing a lot of CS here, by the way. And now, what do you think I'm doing? My eyes are on the next minion that you're trying to hit, which is going to be this one. So what do I do? As you hit this minion, I'm going to hit you with the Q. See how I had
a feeling you were going to do that.
You see this subtle movement that I make? This click right here?
That green one right there?
Yes, this here. This is my intention to hit you because you went in for this minion, but I was slow. This is why I coach.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I was slow. I didn't hit you because I was slow with it, right? And now again, I'm doing the same thing, and here I make a mistake because I don't respect your Q range, right? And then you hit me, right? And then you auto me, and now it's like, okay, you actually did pretty well in that trade. And that was actually your first really good trade.
Okay.
Does that make sense? These are the fundamentals. Now,
I just sorry, before we move on, I just wanted to ask one question.
Yep.
Like about the, like when you first started, you were saying, like, pushing the wave. I mean, autoing the minions to get an XP advantage.
Yes.
I guess I guess the one situation where I think where someone told me not to do that, I was just wanted to clarify. Now, what if your enemy mid laner doesn't show up, like they show up late for whatever reason?
Well,
Then
it depends who your versus, right? If your versus a champion like Azir or Orianna or I don't know, like who else? Any mage, any champion that's
Heimerdinger?
ranged, sure, even Heimerdinger, right? Then you should auto the wave initially, because they're
Okay.
gonna hit level 2.
But
Now,
what if it's like a melee?
if it's a melee champion, with the exception of certain champions like Talon and Zed, now if you're versus Talon, then you auto the wave early, and the reason for that is Talon can break wave. So there's two variables at play here. Now let me get the let me get a pen out here, okay, so I can properly explain things. So I'm gonna have to write some stuff down.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So now, don't try to decipher whether you should push versus not push relative to the matchup or the jungler or some pro guides coach telling you so. It should be done through, the question is, can you break a wave? Right? That should be your question. Now, let me write this properly. Now, what champions can break waves? Let's list some champions.
You mean by break like wave clear?
Essentially, if there is a wave, if I freeze the lane here on my end, how do you, and you're playing the lane inside of this awkward angle where you can get hit by a gank, you want to kill this wave here into the tower.
Yeah.
But certain champions can do that, and certain champions can't do that.
Like what, Vel'Koz?
Vel'Koz can break waves. So, Vel'Koz, right? So let me write this like a proper human being. Vel'Koz. Okay, what else can break waves?
TF.
TF. Okay, what else? Syndra.
Morgana.
Morgana. Okay, what else?
I was thinking of I guess Heimerdinger again.
Sure, Heimerdinger. Who else?
I'm trying to I'm trying to think off the.
Do you think
off the top of
Talon
my
can
head.
break waves?
Yeah. Or well, I guess he's too short range.
No, he can still do it. Two
He can
Q,
still do it,
two not Qs, but wait, two rakes.
Yeah. Okay.
2 rakes on a wave will break a wave.
Lux.
Lux can do it. What about Zed? Zed's a little different.
Not as effective.
Not as effectively, exactly. So Zed's not as effectively. Right? LeBlanc can break waves, but not as effectively. Right? You still want to auto versus LeBlanc because she's a ranged champion, but she can't break waves as effectively. Rise, yeah, someone mentioned. What about Fizz?
Nah.
No, Fizz can't. So you don't have to auto immediately. What about, I mean, okay, now this is going to sound strange because then you're going to see VODs of other players autoing and pushing in versus melee champions, right? This is not a set in stone rule. So don't just, and because more people in Twitch chat, and if you're like Diamond or whatever, don't just not auto first against a Fizz. There are instances where for higher elo players, you can basically hit the wave levels 1. You can hit wave 1, hit wave 2. You can immediately get the bounce back on wave 3. This is not relevant to you, by the way. You can get the bounce back on level 3 or on wave 3, and then you can do this against champions like Fizz because they just can't respond, right? But in your case, just don't auto them because it's just better to not do that, right? It's a more clear-cut way of understanding how to play mid, right? Right?
Yeah, I guess I was up against a Galio and the Galio came late, so they were telling me to not auto the.
No, of course not.
wave.
Well, auto the wave, but don't hard shove the wave.
Don't hard shove. Okay.
Don't hard shove the wave. Because if you hard shove
Okay.
the wave, then you're playing the wave here at level 2.
Right.
Right, but if you're playing the
And
wave
they
here at
can
level
CS
2...
comfortably.
Exactly. But if you're playing the lane here at level 2, it's not as comfortable for them. Right?
I see. Okay, so the reason they were saying that is so that those kind of champions aren't able to CS as comfortably.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing I wanna inform you, because you're a relatively newer player and you're sitting in Silver 4, even though you've been playing from season 6 on, you've been playing for 6 years on and off. Do not listen to bad players. Do not listen to bad coaches. There is so much bullshit right now on the internet about League of Legends. None of that is relevant to you. What do you watch exactly? What kind of what do you usually watch?
It's honestly it's been a while since I've actually like watched tutorial. Like now, since recently, I've kind of just been watching like I was watching a lot of Last Shadow.
Okay.
Um, started watch. I mean, I watched your thing recently. That's how I found out about you. But yeah.
Okay, so I mean, so people you can watch and people that or things that you can do as a new player
Uh-huh.
are the following. So you can watch me, right? So Zen coaching. You can watch like you said, you can watch LS. You can watch Skill Cap, right? Right.
Okay.
You can watch who else could you watch? Skillcapped is okay, but only watch their newer their older videos, the fundamentals. Don't watch the bullshit that they post like, oh, we essentially put a gold support in against our challenger AD and we disconnected the support and look how you can carry. It's fucking bullshit. Don't watch Skillcapp's jungle videos. They're actually terrible. Just watch the lane ones. And I suggest you actually invest in Skillcap. Right? So I think you can watch, including me, these two. And then, fuck, who else, man? I have a recommended list. Do not watch Mid Beast. He is going to hurt you.
Okay.
He's going to hurt your development. You can watch Dopa. Right? You can watch Dopa.
Okay.
But Dopa's a little advanced, right? Like, he doesn't really explain anything. But don't watch his subbed videos because you're not going to understand it. Because even in the English translation, you have to be a high-level player to understand what the English translation means, or you're going to start misinterpreting it. Just watch his gameplay. But only watch his gameplay after you've basically understood what these three creators are basically talking about. Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking to myself in third person, but whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other people too, right? There's other people as well that you can watch. Like there's the fucking man. I don't even know. Like I have a list, man. I have a list. Let me try to find out the recommended. Here it is. Yeah. So you can watch Max Waldo 1. Apparently that's what his Twitch is. You can watch Binge Gaming, Mind Games Consulting. So Weldon you can take a look at. Skill Capped is really good. For mid laners you watch Faker. You can watch Bjergsen. Try watching mid laners who are more Eastern, or not Eastern, but Western sided, because they're gonna speaking in English. Right? And the reason for that is because you need to learn what they're saying. If you watch a Korean and he's speaking Korean, or he's speaking, he's speaking another language, you're not going to understand what he's saying. So just watch like players who speak English. I don't know who Cookie Lol, former Vitality ADC. I mean, I guess if you want to link some content creators in Twitch chat, you can take a look at that. But yeah, these are the people you want to watch. Now, does that all make sense so far? I know it's a lot to take in.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote down a lot of those people as well.
I don't think LS's endorsed coaches make any videos. I talked to Snow a long time ago about coaching, and he told me that he was gonna make videos, but he doesn't really invest too much on YouTube. I don't know any of his other endorsed coaches, so I don't really. You can't just watch them, right? But like, there's other people, right? Like there's this one guy that follows me, but he's more jungle orientated, so I don't think you can watch him either. Yeah.
I guess I've been told I know I've been told in general a lot like that I play too scared and like keep going back too much for like no reason. But I guess like I just don't have confidence like.
Well,
so I guess
confidence comes with knowledge. You don't have the knowledge.
Okay.
When you don't have the knowledge, for sure you don't have confidence.
Right. Yeah.
Right? The only reason I'm able to talk in front of 60 people or 70, 80 people is because I know to a degree I know what I'm talking about. Right? There's obviously people that are better than me, but I understand the language of the game. I know when someone is bullshitting me. Right? Like I know when there's a wrong play. Right? And that's essentially what you have to kind of aim for as well, right? Just understand. Now, notice just to recap, does all of that make sense so far? Do you have any questions about anything that we've discussed so far?
I guess just reiterate like what we were talking about. So, obviously we talked about autoing to get faster XP, and then you said that I didn't have to be far back; that I could have been in the south side like pocket.
Yes, and that's spacing.
Yeah.
That's relative to spacing.
Can we go over that again? Yeah, like.
Yeah. So let's talk about this, right? Now, I'm Orianna. I have a ranged advantage over you because of my Q. Sure. Now, you don't want to just sit next to me. So what I recommend you do is you come in through lane to the south side. So then instead of me hitting you, you can just auto these minions and then avoid my Q. Now, if I hit you with my Q, you hit the wave. You get level 2 faster than me, and then my attack onto you is nullified with the experience and the stats you've gained at level 2. Now, what you do is the reason you stand away from your wave is because now you've essentially given me the option to either hit your HP or hit the wave.
Ah, okay.
So
I think I heard LS talking about that too. Like give them the option to either hit the wave or you.
Or you, exactly.
Okay.
And now if you stand in the middle, what ends up happening is you're giving me the option of hitting both. The HP and the minions. And now notice that that's exactly what you end up doing, right? At some point in the lane when we fast forward a little bit here. So this trade is really good. This is where you essentially just butcher the lane. Look how you move. Right? You're gonna walk in. Okay, and now look what happens right here.
Oh, this is bad positioning.
Yeah, I QW you, and now you're in trouble. But notice I don't auto you. I don't move in for an auto, even though you're off of cooldown. And the reason for this is because if I move inwards, what's gonna end up happening is these casters are gonna jump on me.
Okay.
Right, so I have no intention of moving inwards.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I mean everything else is just really basic. And again, it's the same thing. What am I looking at here? I'm looking at this minion here that you're trying to hit, and I'm gonna QW you. And look what happens. I'm a bad player. That's what happens, right? I don't QW you, which is poor on my end. And now that's the case. And now I'm just waiting for the next minion that you're gonna hit, which is this one. And now I should QW you, right? Okay. And then you go for it, and I'm like, okay, you're going for this? You're not allowed to do this. And now I'm going to QW you.
Oof. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, the idea is, and the purpose of lane coaching is we're going to continue doing 1v1s over and over and over again until you're able to consistently outlane me. And if you're able to consistently outlane me, well, congratulations, you're a high diamond player.
Okay.
Okay. I mean that right? Like you, yeah. There you go. Okay. So that's essentially the goal. I have to make you be able to beat me on a consistent level, not 1 or 2 games, but on a consistent level over and over again. And if you can beat me, I'm telling you, you're gonna jump into diamond very easily, because you're gonna crush these other players.
Okay.
Right. You're gonna absolutely demolish everyone around you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk again for a little bit, because, okay, you know what? We're actually not going to do another one, because I know that this is a lot of information already. We're gonna end off early, just because I just want to give you a game plan of what we're going to be doing. Notice my mouse, and just look at my mouse. Do you see that there is a slight difference between my movements and your movements?
Wow. Yeah, another thing, yeah, I think I was actually talking about that the other day. I feel like I was like, I don't know if like I click right, maybe like I don't know. I guess I don't click effectively. Like it seems like yours is really effective. Like you're like just like moving back and forth a lot. Like I think in one of the videos you talk about like how like kind of like how when you're in boxing, like you're,
but yeah,
like
yeah,
on your toes, kind of.
Yeah, essentially, I'm just on my toes and I'm constantly waiting for you to go in on me. See, like here again, it's a pocket. Right, so I'm assuming you know what a pocket is.
Yeah.
Okay, so and
like again, a small region.
Kinda. Yeah, it's a small region inside of a lane. Now, if we were to divide this, right, we have north 1 to south 1, right, and we can do up to north 4 to south 4. Obviously, this is all hypothetical, right? You can divide it however you want, but or you can make the pockets even smaller, have even smaller, increments or whatever. But the idea is that I am going to continue to retain a single pocket relative to the minion that I am going to trade on you with. Okay? So now this pocket, this is something I never actually talked about before on stream, and the way I'm explaining this is a little better than what I used to do. Now, this is a pocket. This is the trade minion. So let's call this the trade minion, right? Okay, this is the trade minion. Now, my pocket and the trade minion must correlate. So if you're going to go in for this CS, my pocket is going to hit, the idea of my pocket is to hit you as you go in for a CS. I am fighting you for this minion.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Now let's say that this changes. Let's say that this minion isn't low, and let's give it full health. Okay, let's say it's like up to here. And now let's hypothetically say that this minion is really low. Now, if you want to hit this minion, then my pocket, instead of being all the way back here and moving up and down to hit you, shifts upwards here.
Okay.
Or not necessarily here, actually. If it was here, it would just shift up a little bit. Let's actually use another example. Let's say that here, this minion is the next minion that you want to hit. My pocket would be here, okay? Now let's swap that, and let's say that this is the next minion that you want to hit. So now my pocket shifts upwards to now I want to trade onto you on this minion.
Oh, okay.
And the idea is I'm going to trade. Yep, no, I'm not. I'm going to trade. No, I'm not. I'm going to trade. No, I'm not. And that's the whole idea of moving up and down constantly. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
This is the fundamentals of mid lane. So let's just recap everything we talked about. We talked about lane openings. Okay, I'll write this down. We talked about lane openings.
Okay.
Right, I apologize. My writing is terrible. We talked about trading. Right, we talked about trading in cooldowns. Right, CDs.
Right.
We talked about trading in minions. We talked about trading in so cooldowns and minions, and then we talked about mouse speed. And then we talked about pockets. Okay? That's all you have to focus on right for now.
Okay.
That is it. There's nothing else you need to work on at the moment. Okay? Aside from you just understanding these very core concepts of laning. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No.
The rank thing is a little low. Okay. Right. So I'm gonna see you again soon. There's gonna be a break, obviously, for Christmas and New Year's and everything, but I'll make an announcement about that later. So before the next session, try to have these things down to at least a decent level.
Okay.
Okay. All right, man.
So I guess I guess I was wondering. I think So yeah, I think I'm doing the Saturday, Sunday. So I guess tomorrow.
I mean, we can talk about it on stream. I'm not gonna talk about it right now on stream.
Oh, okay, all right.
We'll DM all the background details. Okay.
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
good.
Good luck, man. Take care.
All right.
See ya.
All right, I see you.